Welcome, folks. I am Jaby Koay, joined by ACHARA the KIRK.
What's up, people?
We're looking at Ip Man, Kung Fu Master trailer number 1. Have you heard of Ip Man, ACHARA?
No.
Well, I'll tell you. Yes, you know Ip Man.
I know what. I thought they weren't doing any more Ip Man movies.
Not with Donnie Yen. Donnie Yen has officially retired from doing the martial arts thing. Just like Jet Li.
No martial arts anymore? No? No more Donnie Yen martial arts? So I just have to go through his backlog then, of which I'm sure there are, like,
no more.
I have not seen.
No more martial arts films. Ip Man 4.5 with Bruce Lee, whichever that last one is that we saw in theaters.
Yep, with Scott
Adkins was this final, was like, what a send-off, right? To do a fight scene with Scott Adkins, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's his final martial arts film.
Oh, I don't believe that. I think he's gonna do a Jay-Z and come back.
But they're not done with the Ip Man movies. They're finding ways to keep this movie going. They are resurrecting Ip Man just like Bruce Lee in Game of Death.
Okay.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
Like just gonna keep it going. After Bruce Lee passed away, they actually had a lot of Bruce Lee films with Bruce Lee lookalikes. Did you know that?
No.
Bruce Lee.
What?
Yeah, they
Bruce Lee?
That was the name.
That's real?
Yeah, that's a thing. Like there was a guy named Bruce Lee who was doing a lot of Bruce Lee imitations, making Bruce Lee, because people they needed more Bruce Lee. And like they were gonna take what they could get. You know, there was no Tupac back then. You know, you had to take what you could get. You know the Tupac reference? The hologram, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
So, what, in person?
Yeah, I was there.
Oh.
Yeah, it was cool.
Some of us spend our money wisely. Anyway, here we go.
功夫
Oh, yeah.
练来何用？
Oh.
有的人用它打打杀杀，有的人用它修身立命，而我回头是岸。叶探长，
这里的钱
Detective Ip.
你们能拿多少？
严署长，我们警察都枉法，一定还他一个公道。
咱也要。
如果传只身前夫，
你跟他这个署长
只会任人宰割。
原来是你们害死我！左先生，如果再不出去，
Oh, that's very, I know what inspired that.
What?
I'll tell you in a second.
Oh, shoot. It's like Yip Man,
阁下
Batman.
好功夫，阁下参与，我们走。
Yeah, it is.
Good grief. You know what I found really distracting?
What?
Was that you saw the Tupac hologram and never told me.
Oh!
You sneaky bitch. You never told me about that.
Oh, yeah, no, I did. I was at Coachella that year when they had
And you pooped in your pants? You were so excited?
No, I was just like, what? Oh, wow, it was really cool, yeah.
Okay. So there is this Jet Li film. I think it was inspired by a Bruce Lee film called Chinese Connection in the States, but it was originally called Fists of Fury because when the Bruce Lee movies were brought to the States, they changed some of the names around. Anyway, that film inspired another film with Jet Li where he's fighting a whole horde of Japanese people doing kendo. Stylistically, this feels a lot like that Jet Li movie. I can't remember the name of it. It felt like that combined with the Axe Gang fight from Drunken Master 2. The Axe Gang fight from Drunken Master 2, even though it's very fancy, felt like it had a sense of being grounded in reality. The Jet Li fight was a lot more fancy. And this is going that direction even harder.
Yes.
Like there was a lot of flashiness going on in this trailer. That's what I got from it. Ip Man, of course, the original with Donnie Yen is flashy, but not like that.
Yes.
Like it feels kind of like Drunken Master 2. It's like it's flashy, but it still has a sense of being grounded in reality.
Yeah, It's like some of the stuff, you know, some of the kicks, they kind of push you a little bit further than maybe that kick might have pushed you in real life, but it still kind of feels like, oh, this is a dude who could really do that stuff.
Right.
Like all of the fights kind of felt a little bit more grounded in reality, whereas especially the stuff with the woman in this one, I think there was just one part where she, like, I don't know what she did. It looked like she was clearly on wires or something, and I was just kind of like,
So the movie I was thinking of is Fist of Legend with Jet Li. That's the film that felt very much like Chinese Connection. What was that originally called? Was it always called Chinese Connection? The American title is called Chinese Connection, I believe.
Okay.
And it's about how Japanese were basically coming in and being like racist towards the Chinese people and imposing their dominion over the Chinese people. And Bruce Lee was basically, you know, serving it to the man.
Gotcha.
You know, beating up a bunch of the Japanese folk. So that's Fist of Legend is similar. And this fight scene here, like, I think that there's a similar backstory here, right? The Japanese are...
Yeah. No, I mean, I thought I saw some, like, Japanese ladies in kimonos.
But they got the Axe Gang involved as well, which is interesting. And the ending of this feels not dissimilar from the original Ip Man, where it's taking place on this platform that is in a public square of some kind. And he's fighting a Japanese soldier, which is what happened at the end of the original Ip Man.
Yeah.
In the original Ip Man, the guy looked like a Hapa, half white, half Asian. He was a very honorable fighter, I guess.
Yeah. He just wanted to have the best fight.
Yeah, and then Ip Man kicks his ass with flying colors.
Yeah.
So.
But I think the thing, like, looking at this rendition of Ip Man, like, Donnie Yen's Ip Man felt very, like, contained, you know? He just seemed like a very gentle, calm man who was really into his martial arts and his love of that. Whereas this rendition of Ip Man feels just a little bit more edgy, you know, like...
This is the Tom Holland of Ip Man, because they actually have another Ip Man story with an older actor, who it's like when Ip Man's old kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot the name of that actor, but he's done a lot of work. So they had Ip Man Donnie Yen, and it was almost like David Hayter, like they're just trying to replace him. So they went and did this other Ip Man story with another actor. I guess because Donnie Yen maybe wasn't super interested in revisiting the role.
Yeah.
And so here it's like, this is Tom Holland now. It's like, this is yet a third Ip Man iteration.
I thought there was another iteration as well, which we haven't seen, where it's like a younger Ip Man as well.
I don't know, maybe, perhaps.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's so many.
The thing about it is now he's this like superhero, and like we're just they're gonna keep milking this cow, and I don't mind necessarily. Like this, even though it looks very fanciful and all that stuff, it still looks like a lot of fun. This is like the stuff of my dreams when I was a kid, is like, you know, watching these badass female fighters in martial arts movies. I craved it. Michelle Yeoh was one of my favorites growing up. I would watch all of them, Anita Mui and Maggie Chung and all of them. And there's a whole host of other female heroines that I don't even remember the names of, but I just loved watching action female heroes in martial arts films because they looked so badass. And to include that with everything else going on in here, this is like jam-packed with a lot of stuff. And so my only hope in going in is that it is not incoherent.
Yeah, like I would just want it to still be a good story. And that's what I really loved about like the first few Ip Man movies that I watched. Like, I know a lot of people didn't really love 3 because they thought it was melodramatic. I actually enjoyed it. But like, I always...
They're all kind of melodramatic, to be honest with you.
But like, I enjoyed the story, you know? Like, I enjoyed the drama in addition to the fighting and the cool kung fu, like the choreography or whatever. Wushu, is that what's his thing?
Kung Fu.
Wushu.
It's just called Kung Fu, I think. But,
yeah.
Well, it says it right there in the title, Kung Fu Master. So, I just wish that they included a classic actor of some kind. Like Ip Man 2, for instance, had Sammo Hung. And I just wish they got somebody like Yuen Biao or anyone who's from like the classic Hong Kong cinema era to be part of this. To sort of give, I don't know, just be kind of neat. But the main girl in this, who's fighting a bunch of people, she looks like a character out of like Dead or Alive, Extreme Beach Volleyball.
A little bit, yeah.
I mean,
whoa.
You know, so on that note, you guys think so?
Wing Chun, that's what I was thinking of.
Wing Chun, yeah.
Yeah.
It's Michelle Yeoh. And Donnie Yen, actually.
But isn't that what his style is? Wing Chun?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, yes. I mean, Kung Fu it's sort of a catch-all name.
Yeah.
And I mean, because there's like Southern Shaolin, Northern Shaolin, and there's like
Gotcha.
a variety of animal styles and whatnot. And then there's Wing Chun, which is like its own style. There's a lot of different styles, but Wing Chun was the one that Bruce Lee took and morphed into this other thing, combining it with American boxing and other stuff. And just brutally taking you down by any means possible. That's, you know, Jeet Kune Do. But anyways, you guys, thanks so much for hanging out. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Let us know your feelings in the comments below, as well as your favorite martial arts fight scene of all time. Check out ACHARA KIRK on the social media, not doing fight scenes, but just hanging out there and putting on a sari and succeeding. So that's on her channel, youtube.com/ACHARA. I'm Jaby Koay, this is
ACHARA KIRK.
Peace out.